Please help me welcome Gavin. Hello, everyone. Contrary to what I mentioned last week, I am not there in person, although I am only a few miles away. I apologize. I'm really glad that there was the element of marriage in the previous speech because it ties into what I've learned in my marriage about self-awareness and perspective. The best anecdote that I can use to illustrate that is the difference between my wife and I. One thing that my wife does, for instance, is she likes to collect things around the house. She likes bowls. She puts a bowl into a on a the mantle or on a bookshelf because it's very convenient. You put keys in the bowl, pick them up. That way you know where they are. You can get where you're going. You Next thing you know, though, you're putting change there, which is fine because sometimes you're looking for extra change. Eventually, it's paper clips and bobby pins. Then there are things like small toys. And eventually we wind up with trash, just trash in multiple bowls around the house. And I cannot stand that. Uh, I probably told my wife, Carolyn, by the way, 100 times, can you not do that? Please don't. And it never worked. Like years, probably 5, 6, 7 years of our marriage. Eventually, I realized that it was not the message that I was giving, but the way I was saying it. I had to have empathy and understand her perspective by having self-awareness of myself for how I see the world and what my preferences are in order to communicate with her. So I said, Carolyn, do you know the way that you look at me when you say that I'm chewing loudly? Um, and she said, yeah, yeah. And I said, that is exactly how I feel when you leave trash in bowls around the house. Please don't do that. It's never happened again, ever. On a more serious note, um, that perspective and framing of your message uh, is important, can be important in a lot of other ways, interacting with others, both professionally and in political discussions, which I like to have too many of. For instance, someone at my previous employer mentioned to me, why is it that it's Republicans who are more patriotic? That he always sees them with wearing the American flag, waving the American flag. They have flags everywhere, flags, on all the stickers that they have and everything. And I said, using the lesson that I learned with my wife, I said, Cole, do you believe that Black Lives Matter? And he said, yeah, absolutely. And I said, yeah. And I said, why don't you wear the shirt? And that 100%. And to his credit, he said that I had not thought about it that way, and it's very good perspective. This level of self-awareness is beyond important for being persuasive and convincing others that you're a useful